First contact and betrayal. Admiral Kai Harrison stood at the viewport of the United Earth Defense Command Station, watching the approaching vessels of the Nexus Dominion glide through space with impossible grace. Their ships resembled crystalline structures, refracting starlight in mesmerizing patterns. 6 months had passed since humanity's first contact with the interstellar coalition of species, and today marked the formal signing of what many hoped would be a historic alliance. "The Dominion representatives are ready for transport, Admiral," announced Captain Jun Zhao, her dark eyes reflecting concern despite her professional demeanor. Something about the aliens' behavior had been bothering her lately, subtle inconsistencies in their diplomatic protocols, unexplained energy signatures from their ships. "Proceed with reception protocols," Harrison commanded, straightening his uniform. At 63, he carried the weight of humanity's future on his shoulders. Decades of military service had taught him to trust his instincts, and right now they were screaming. The Nexus Dominion had appeared seemingly overnight, offering humanity membership in their grand coalition of 33 spacefaring civilizations. They promised technological advancement, cultural exchange, and protection from the dangers lurking in the vast darkness between stars. But they demanded complete integration into their hierarchy, a system where newer species served as protected assets under the guidance of more evolved civilizations. In the reception chamber, Harrison watched as the Dominion's primary delegate, a towering figure named Vexther, materialized through their quantum transport system. The being's iridescent exoskeleton shifted colors as it moved, a trait of the ancient Psyxis species who led the Dominion. "Admiral Harrison," Vexther's translator conveyed in perfect English, "today marks the beginning of your species' ascension." The alien's compound eyes reflected the chamber's lights like fractals of frozen time. Before Harrison could respond, Captain Zhao's voice crackled through his neural implant. "Admiral, we're detecting massive energy buildups from the Dominion fleet. Signatures match weapons systems." Harrison's mind raced through years of contingency planning. They had prepared for this possibility. The paranoia of centuries of human conflict had never quite left their collective consciousness. "Initiate Protocol Omega Black," he subvocalized through his neural link. Throughout the solar system, hidden defense systems began powering up. Vexther's posture shifted subtly. "You seem troubled, Admiral. Perhaps you sense what comes next. Your species' stubborn independence is problematic. We offered you protection, guidance, the chance to evolve under our wisdom. Your resistance to proper hierarchical integration leaves us no choice." The first strikes hit Earth's major cities simultaneously. Quantum-tipped weapons designed to bypass conventional shields tore through humanity's primary defense networks. Billions of lives hung in the balance as Harrison faced the alien delegate. "You made a fundamental mistake," Harrison said calmly, even as emergency alerts flooded his neural feed. "You assumed because we accepted your friendship we had not prepared for your betrayal." Across the solar system, automated defense platforms emerged from their hiding places in asteroid fields and planetary rings. Quantum sensors, reverse-engineered from malfunctioning Dominion technology they had been gifted, tracked enemy ship movements with perfect precision. "Humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology or our numbers," Harrison continued, watching realization dawn in Vexther's alien features. "It's our capacity to imagine and prepare for the worst, even in times of peace." The station's quantum fields activated, trapping the alien delegation in a stasis field. Throughout the solar system, humanity's hidden fleets emerged from subspace pockets, technology they had developed in secret, learning from but never fully trusting their would-be overlords. "Launch all countermeasures," Harrison commanded. "Initiate Operation Darkstar." Humanity would not go quietly into submission. The war that would reshape the galaxy had begun, and the Nexus Dominion was about to learn why humans had survived countless near-extinction events throughout their violent history. As the first wave of human ships engaged the Dominion fleet, Harrison sent a final message through the quantum networks. "To all Earth forces, remember your training, remember your history. Most importantly, remember that humanity has never faced a threat we couldn't adapt to overcome. Today, we show the galaxy why." The Nexus Dominion had expected to find an easy target. Instead, they had awakened humanity's most primal instinct, survival at any cost. The galaxy would never be the same. The hidden arsenal. Deep beneath the Martian surface, Director Ryoko Tanaka stood in the control center of Project Prometheus, watching as holographic displays showed the ongoing battle across the solar system. The facility had remained hidden for 15 years, masked by experimental quantum camouflage technology. Now, it was humanity's greatest hope. "Status report on the Lazarus Protocol," she demanded, her weathered hands moving through holographic data streams. Around her, dozens of scientists and military personnel worked at fever pitch, coordinating humanity's counterattack. Colonel Marcus Drake, head of military operations, pulled up a tactical overlay. "The Dominion fleet has taken the bait. They're pursuing our decoy ships toward the Jupiter defensive line. Casualties are at 30%, but within acceptable parameters." Ryoko nodded grimly. Every loss hurt, but they had planned for this since the day the Dominion first appeared. While the aliens had offered friendship with one hand, humanity had been studying their technology with the other, preparing for the worst-case scenario that had now become reality. "Begin Phase 2, she ordered. Throughout the solar system, seemingly dormant satellites and asteroid mining stations suddenly activated. What the Dominion had dismissed as primitive human technology were actually housings for something far more dangerous. Dr. Viktor Petrov, lead quantum physicist, monitored the energy readings. "The quantum entanglement network is online. All nodes are synchronized." His fingers danced across holographic controls, fine-tuning the system they had spent years perfecting. The Dominion's greatest advantage was their quantum-based technology, allowing them to bypass traditional defenses and communicate instantly across vast distances. But they had never encountered a species that could understand and adapt their technology so quickly. "They're approaching the primary trigger point," Colonel Drake announced. "Quantum signatures from their fleet are reaching critical mass." Ryoko allowed herself a small smile. "They still think they're chasing us. They have no idea they're falling into a trap 15 years in the making." She opened a secure channel to all human forces. "All units, initiate Protocol Thanatos." Across the solar system, hundreds of quantum entanglement devices activated simultaneously. The technology that humanity had supposedly been struggling to understand was now turned against its creators. The devices created a cascading network of quantum disruption fields, targeting the very foundation of Dominion technology. The effect was immediate and devastating. Dominion ships began losing power as their quantum cores were forced out of alignment. Their perfect formation broke apart as ships lost the ability to communicate and coordinate. The hunters had become the hunted. "Second wave deploying now," Colonel Drake reported. From hidden bases across the asteroid belt, a new type of fighter emerged. These ships were hybrid creations, combining reverse-engineered Dominion technology with humanity's own innovations. They moved with impossible speed, their weapons specifically designed to exploit the weaknesses in Dominion defense systems. "Message from Admiral Harrison," a communications officer announced. "The Dominion leadership is trapped in quantum stasis. Their fleet is cut off from Central Command." Dr. Petrov's eyes widened as he studied the sensor readings. "Director, we're detecting something unusual. The quantum disruption field is having an unexpected effect on their biological systems. Their neural networks are partially quantum-based. We're not just disrupting their technology, we're disrupting their ability to think and coordinate." Ryoko leaned forward, studying the data. "Can you isolate the effect?" "Better," Petrov replied, his fingers flying over the controls. "We can enhance it. Their entire command structure relies on quantum-based neural links. We can effectively paralyze their decision-making capabilities." "Do it," she ordered. "Colonel Drake, coordinate with our attack squadrons. Target their flagship clusters while they're vulnerable." As the battle unfolded, Ryoko thought about the years of preparation that had led to this moment. The Dominion had seen humans as primitive, underestimating their capacity for innovation and their deep-seated instinct for survival. They had failed to understand that humanity's greatest weapon wasn't their technology. It was their ability to learn, adapt, and overcome. "Director," Colonel Drake called out, "we're receiving surrender signals from multiple Dominion vessel clusters. Their command structure is collapsing." Ryoko nodded. "Accept their surrender but maintain quantum containment, and send word to all human forces. Phase 3 begins now." She paused, looking at the holographic display of their solar system, now littered with disabled Dominion ships. "The real war is just beginning. Today we defended our home, tomorrow we take the fight to theirs." The Dominion had awakened a sleeping giant, and now they would face the full consequences of their actions. Humanity was no longer just fighting for survival. They were fighting to ensure they would never be threatened again. Operation Starcaller. Fleet Commander Nadia Volkov stood on the bridge of the HSS Hyperion, humanity's first true warship built with hybridized Dominion technology. Through the quantum-enhanced viewport, she watched as her strike fleet prepared for their first faster-than-light jump into Dominion territory. The massive vessel hummed with power, its hybrid quantum core pulsing with barely contained energy. "Strike teams report ready," Lieutenant Commander Raj Patel announced from his tactical station. "All ships show green for quantum translation." The fleet represented humanity's greatest technological achievement, 30 ships equipped with reverse-engineered Dominion tech, crewed by the best soldiers and scientists Earth had to offer. Each vessel carried specialized strike teams trained in both conventional and quantum warfare. "Begin final countdown for Operation Starcaller," Nadia commanded. "Transmit Admiral Harrison's message to all ships." The message was simple but powerful. "Remember Earth. Remember what they tried to take from us. Now show them what humanity does to those who threaten our existence." Dr. Echo Zhang, their lead quantum physicist, monitored the drive readings from her station. "Commander, the quantum matrices are aligned. We've successfully masked our signatures using the Dominion's own encryption protocols." The plan was audacious. Use captured Dominion communication codes to infiltrate their territory, striking at key military and political targets before they could reorganize their forces. The quantum disruption technology that had proved so effective in the solar system would now be deployed deep in enemy space. "All ships initiate quantum jump in 3, 2, 1. Reality twisted as the fleet translated through quantum space. When they emerged, the Dominion's primary military installation on Proxima Centauri befilled their view screens. The massive structure orbited the planet like a malevolent spider, its crystalline architecture gleaming in the red dwarf's light. "No alarm signals," Raj reported. "Our Dominion IFF codes are working. They think we're their own reinforcement fleet." Nadia allowed herself a grim smile. "Launch infiltration teams, execute Phase 1. From the Hyperion's quantum bays, specialized pods carrying mixed teams of soldiers and scientists launched toward the station. Each team member wore experimental quantum phase armor, allowing them to move through Dominion security fields as if they were ghosts. Major Dante Chen led the primary strike team. His voice crackled through the quantum comm. "First barrier breached. Their internal sensors aren't detecting us. Moving to the central control nexus." On the bridge, Dr. Zhang monitored the quantum interference patterns. "The station's neural network is responding exactly as predicted. Their quantum-based consciousness can't process our hybrid technology. We're effectively invisible to their cognitive systems." The operation proceeded with mechanical precision. Years of preparation and training paid off as human forces systematically took control of key systems throughout the installation. The Dominion's over-reliance on quantum technology had become their greatest weakness. Major Chen reporting, Central Nexus secured. Uploading the quantum virus now. The virus was humanity's masterstroke, a piece of code that could propagate through the Dominion's quantum networks, disrupting their entire command and control structure. Once unleashed, it would spread through their neural links, causing chaos throughout their empire. "Virus upload complete," Raj announced. It's spreading through their network faster than predicted. We're detecting cascading failures in their defense grid. Nadia opened a channel to all ships. Begin Phase 2, target all military installations, no mercy. The human fleet opened fire, their hybrid weapons tearing through the now vulnerable Dominion defenses. The station's crystalline structure began to fracture as quantum-tipped missiles found their marks. "Commander," Dr. Zhang called out urgently, "we're detecting something unexpected. The virus isn't just disrupting their systems, it's forcing their quantum neural networks to experience something they've never encountered before: fear." Nadia watched as panic spread through the Dominion forces. Their perfectly coordinated responses became erratic. Their formations broke apart. The species that had prided themselves on transcending primitive emotions were being forced to confront the most basic instinct of all: survival. "Message from Earth Command," Raj reported. "Similar attacks are succeeding across Dominion space. Their entire empire is falling into chaos." "Send word to all human forces," Nadia ordered. "Operation Starcaller is a success. Phase 3 begins now." She paused, watching as the massive station began to break apart. The Dominion thought they could subjugate humanity. Instead, they're about to learn why our species has survived every catastrophe we've ever faced. As the fleet prepared to jump to their next target, Nadia reflected on how quickly the tables had turned. The Dominion had sought to make humanity submit to their order. Instead, they had unleashed a force they couldn't comprehend, a species that had turned thousands of years of warfare and survival into an art form. The war was far from over, but the message was clear. Humanity would not just survive this conflict, they would reshape the galaxy in their image. The breaking point. High above the crystalline spires of Nexus Prime, the Dominion's capital world, General Zara Knight watched through quantum-enhanced optics as chaos unfolded across the planet's surface. The Dominion's supposedly perfect society was crumbling, not just from military defeats, but from something far more devastating: the introduction of human unpredictability into their ordered universe. "Status report from the Psychological Warfare Division," requested Intelligence Director Owen Rhodes, his weathered face illuminated by holographic displays aboard the Stealth Command ship Shadow Whisper. Dr. Yuki Nakamura, head of xenopsychology, stepped forward. Her team had spent months analyzing the Dominion's quantum neural networks, discovering vulnerabilities that no one had anticipated. "The effects are spreading faster than we projected. Their entire society is experiencing emotional concepts they've never evolved to handle." The Dominion had spent millennia engineering their species to transcend what they considered primitive emotional responses. Their quantum neural networks allowed perfect harmony and consensus, but they had inadvertently created their own greatest weakness. "Show me the latest data," Zara commanded. Holographic screens materialized, displaying scenes from across Dominion space. Their perfectly ordered cities were in disarray as the population struggled with concepts like individual choice, fear, and rebellion, ideas introduced through humanity's quantum virus. "Their hierarchical structure is dissolving," Owen noted, studying the patterns. "The lower-ranked species are beginning to question the authority of the Psychsis leadership. Some are actively rebelling." Zara allowed herself a grim smile. They thought emotional suppression made them superior. Instead, it made them vulnerable to the very things they tried to eliminate. The human fleet had positioned itself strategically throughout Dominion space, but their greatest weapon wasn't their advanced technology. It was the introduction of chaos into an ordered system. The quantum virus didn't just disrupt their technology, it forced their neural networks to experience the full spectrum of human emotional responses. "We're detecting massive energy fluctuations in their central quantum nexus," reported Lieutenant Kira Wang from her tactical station. "Their attempt to purge the virus is failing." Dr. Nakamura's eyes widened as she analyzed the incoming data. The Psychsis leadership is experiencing complete cognitive breakdown. Their quantum consciousness can't handle the concept of defeat. They never programmed that possibility into their neural architecture. "Incoming transmission," Kira announced. "It's from the Resistance Coalition." A holographic figure materialized, Ambassador Thexel, a former mid-tier species representative who had been the first to recognize the fundamental flaws in Dominion society. General Knight, the Coalition of Liberated Worlds stands ready. We await your signal to begin the final phase. Zara nodded. The plan had worked better than anyone had hoped. By demonstrating that resistance was possible, humanity had inspired other species to question their subservient roles. The perfect hierarchy was fracturing from within. Multiple quantum signatures detected, Owen reported. The Psyxis leadership is attempting to activate their doomsday protocols. Not today, Zara commanded. Initiate Operation Blackout. Across Dominion space, hidden quantum disruptors activated simultaneously. The technology that had once been the source of their power now became their prison. The quantum neural networks that connected their society began to shut down, forcing each individual to confront existence without the collective consciousness they had relied on for millennia. General, Dr. Nakamura called out, her voice tight with excitement and concern. We're detecting something unprecedented. The younger generations of Psyxis, they're adapting. Their neural patterns are shifting, evolving to process individual consciousness. Zara watched as the massive quantum temples of Nexus Prime, symbols of Dominion power, began powering down. They called us primitive because we embraced our emotions, our individuality. They never understood that these were our greatest strengths. Message from Earth Command, Kira announced. Admiral Harrison confirms that Operation Blackout is successful across all sectors. The Dominion's central authority has collapsed. Ambassador Thexel's hologram spoke again. The Coalition worlds are declaring independence. The Dominion's age of oppression is ending. Humanity has shown us a new way. Zara turned to face her crew, seeing the weight of their achievement in their eyes. Send word to all forces. The breaking point has been reached. Prepare for the final phase, reconstruction. As she watched the sun rise over Nexus Prime, Zara reflected on the irony of their victory. The Dominion had sought to impose order on the galaxy, to eliminate what they saw as the chaos of emotion and individuality. Instead, humanity had proven that true strength came from embracing those very qualities. The war wasn't ending with the complete destruction of their enemy, but with something far more profound, the transformation of an entire civilization. Humanity had become the most feared species in the galaxy not through superior firepower, but by wielding the very aspects of their nature that the Dominion had dismissed as weakness. A new orders. Chancellor Elena Rodriguez stood in the Great Hall of Concordance, a massive structure built from the remnants of the former Dominion Central Command. Its crystalline walls now held a new purpose, housing the Galactic Confederation, a coalition of free species forging a different path forward. The final reports from the transition teams are in, announced First Consul Yi-Sun Park, his holographic form shimming beside her. The aging diplomat had been instrumental in establishing the new order, helping former Dominion worlds adapt to independence. Elena studied the massive holographic display showing the reformed galaxy. Where the Dominion's rigid hierarchy had once dominated, a network of independent but interconnected civilizations now flourished. How are the former Psyxis adapting to their neural modifications? Dr. Imani Akoro, head of the rehabilitation program, stepped forward. Better than expected. The younger generations have fully embraced their new neural architecture. They're experiencing individual consciousness while maintaining their quantum capabilities. Some are even developing emotions naturally. The transformation of the Psyxis had been perhaps the most remarkable outcome of the war. Rather than destroying their former oppressors, humanity had helped them evolve. The species that had once sought to suppress all emotion now experienced the full spectrum of consciousness. Message from the frontier sectors, reported diplomatic liaison Wei Chen. The last holdout worlds have signed the Confederation Charter. The transition is complete. Elena nodded, remembering the long path that had led to this moment. After the collapse of Dominion authority, many had expected humanity to simply take their place as the new ruling power. Instead, they had chosen a different path. Security report, called out General Darius Patel from his command station. The quantum detection grid is registering normal activity, no signs of unauthorized technology use. The new order wasn't built on suppression of quantum technology, but on its responsible use. Humanity had shown the galaxy that advanced technology and emotional intelligence could coexist, even enhance each other. Ambassador Thexel requests permission to address the Council, Wei announced. The holographic form of the former resistance leader materialized. Honored representatives, the Coalition of Free Worlds brings news. The first generation of naturally evolved quantum-conscious children has been born on the outer worlds. They possess both the technological capabilities of their ancestors and the emotional range that humanity showed us was possible. Elena smiled. This was the true victory, not the defeat of an enemy, but the birth of a new way of existing. How are the cultural exchange programs progressing? Dr. Okoro consulted her data streams. Beyond expectations. Former Dominion species are eagerly learning about human concepts like art, music, and individual expression. Many are creating their own unique cultural fusions. And what of Earth? Yi-sun asked quietly. Elena turned to the window, looking out at the stars. Earth had changed too. Humanity had emerged from the war not just victorious, but transformed. They were now seen across the galaxy not just as warriors, but as teachers, guides, and protectors of free will. The reconstruction of our major cities is complete, General Patel reported. But more importantly, our world has become a beacon. Species from across the galaxy come to learn from us, to understand how we maintained our humanity despite all our challenges. A soft chime indicated an incoming transmission. The holographic form of Admiral Harrison appeared, older now, but still standing tall. Chancellor, the final phase of Operation Renaissance is complete. The last of the quantum rehabilitation centers is online. Every species that wishes to evolve beyond their Dominion programming now has the opportunity. Elena addressed the assembled representatives, her voice carrying the weight of history. When the Dominion first arrived, they saw our emotions as weakness, our individuality as chaos, our diversity as a flaw. They never understood that these were the sources of our strength. Now the galaxy knows what humanity has always understood, that true power comes not from suppressing our nature, but from embracing it. The Galactic Confederation stands as proof, Thexel added. Different species, different cultures, different ways of thinking, all working together while maintaining their unique identities. We are still feared, Yi-sun observed, but not for our weapons or our tactics. Elena nodded. We are feared because we showed the galaxy something more powerful than control, the strength that comes from being truly free. As the council session concluded, Elena looked out at the transformed galaxy. The war had indeed made humanity the most feared species in known space, but not in the way anyone had expected. They were feared not for their capacity for destruction, but for their ability to inspire change, to show others the power of embracing their true nature. The stars seemed brighter somehow, filled with the light of billions of newly awakened consciousnesses, each one experiencing the gift that humanity had fought so hard to protect, the right to be themselves.